Here we go. We're here. We're here. We're live. Hey guys, how you doing? Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. Welcome to my surprise live show for a Friday night. Thank you for joining me here. Let's see how many are here. Let's see if I can get this to work. Here on TWB on a Friday night, I'm doing a surprise little cruise news and a trivia show. And I thought, I wasn't sure if I was going to go live or not today, but then I thought, why not? Why not go live and surprise people? If you got nothing else to do on a Friday night, join me live. Got some trivia here. We always love some trivia, and let's talk about what's going on in the crazy world of crazy and wacky world of the cruise business. I am right now just looking at my iPhone here, making sure I'm going live. I think I am live. I'm just double checking to make sure we're on the air. And we'll see what's going on over here to videos. And there he should be. He should be there. Yes, he is. He's there. Fantastic. I can hear myself, so I know I'm on the air. Fantastic, guys. Welcome one, welcome all. It looks like there's 41 of you and counting. Fantastic. Let's get the big ass iPad going here and make sure we're showing up here too. That is not what I wanted to see there. So let me just clear that and reset it and go from there. How you guys doing? Welcome to Friday, June the 5th, 2020. Welcome to Traveling with Bruce, where we love talking about cruise ships, cruise ship vacations, and everything else. I hope you're surviving okay. I hope you had an okay week. It's been just a tension-filled 10, 11 days, hasn't it? Unbelievable. Jason, thank you for your comment, but that's not needed here today. But anyway, welcome to the show. 48 of you here now and coming on. So thank you for coming on in. Welcome to TWB, Traveling with Bruce, out of Creston, British Columbia, Canada, where I'm located 3 miles north of Idaho. It is rainy and really yucky out here. It was a cloudier day, a bit of sunshine earlier today here, but it's turned very yucky and it's just raining. Very miserable outside. What can I say? I wish it was nicer, but it's just not. 59 of you are here now. Fantastic. Mermaid C was here first. Welcome, Mermaid C, to the show. Tim Bowman was here. Welcome, buddy. Charles M is here. Nick is here. Hi, Nick. Michelle Forbes is here. Hi, Michelle from Carmichael, California. Nice to have you here. Glenn Edinburgh is also here. Thank you, Glenn, for coming by. Nice to have you by today. Ben H. Tran is here. Hello from Broadlands, Virginia. Just took home the new Lexus SUV. Right on, buddy. Congratulations. Let me know where you're watching me from. If you're watching me live tonight, 62 of you here and counting. The numbers are coming up here. Tamara, hello from Florida. How you doing, Tamara? Susan is here. Hello from Alamonte Springs in Florida. Fantastic. I know it's a little late for a lot of you out there. What time is it now? 9:35 Eastern, 6:35 in LA. Welcome one, welcome all. Stephanie is here. Welcome, Stephanie. I know I got your message today. You received your Traveling with Bruce a cell phone amplifier, that little unit sitting behind me right here. Way to go. I'm glad I got that message today. Roger Roger Harris is here. Hi there, Roger. He's saying hi, Bruce. James is here. Did you see the new color coding system for ships from the CDC? I did. I've been following that. I'm not sure what to think about that. Peter Heckema is here. Hi, Bruce and everybody. Hey, Peter. How you doing, pal? Welcome to the show. Tim Bowman is here as well. Welcome, Tim, to Traveling with Bruce tonight here on a Friday night. Nice to have you here. Cloudy Seattle is where he's watching me from. Finally received my first refund from one of my first 2 cruises. Right on, Tim. Welcome to the show. Howard Green saying hello there. Ray is here. Welcome, Ray. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Bruce. Welcome, Ray. Susan is saying gave my thumbs up, so hope others do too. If you can give this show a thumbs up, give my videos thumbs ups, I'd appreciate it very much. That would be great. Margie is here. Hello. Hiya from Arizona. How you doing? Bernard, watching from Dallas, Texas. Great folks in Dallas. Welcome, Bernard. Nice to have you here tonight. Christine is here. Christina saying hello. Bob Decker is here from MSB. From MSB. Where is MSB? Welcome from Bob, wherever you are watching me from. Welcome, my bud. Tony Williams is here. Hello from Chicago. Bruce, it's 91. I got a whole bunch of followers from Chicago, and Tony is one of them. Thank you for being here, buddy. Appreciate anyone from the Chicago area. Love you guys in Chicago. Great town, great folks. Tim Bowman, we just went to see stage 1.5, so restaurants and barbers, etc., can open to some extent. I see what you're saying. Susan Hurd is here. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Susan, wherever you are. Roger, I'm taking a cruise next year, July 24. I hope everything will be back to normal on the Mardi Gras. I hope so too, my friend. I hope so too. Scott Bailey, hello, Bruce, Las Vegas. Scott, how you doing, buddy? Vegas opened, I think, yesterday. I hope it's happening. I hope it's working out. Christina, Milton, Florida. All right, welcome, Christina from Milton. Michael and Diane are in the house from New Jersey. Love your show. Welcome, guys, from New Jersey. Brad, that's the Garden State. Brad Andre, hi, Bruce from St. Louis. Welcome from the middle of America. Nice to have you. Home of the Stanley Cup champion, St. Louis Blues. Way to go. Torres Family Adventures. Hello from Apopka, Florida. Welcome, Torres family. Nice to have you here. Howard Green. Hi, Bruce from Long Island. Great folks in Long Island, too. Welcome to my channel tonight on a Friday night from Long Island. Roger Harris from New York, another New Yorker. I got tons of New Yorkers that follow me. It's great. Raquel Roche, hello from Jupiter, Florida. Welcome. Susan is here saying Victoria, Australia. Welcome from Victoria, Australia. Fantastic, Susan. Jason Dixie. Hey, Bruce from Jason from Indiana. Welcome, Jason from beautiful Indiana. William Ralph, hi from Beach Mountain, North Carolina. Fantastic. Tell me where you folks are from. This is great. Danny Wright, hello from South Carolina. Kathleen, hello from Buffalo, New York. Fantastic. Welcome from Buffalo. David Dees, hello from downtown Miami, half a mile away. Fantastic. Torres family, hey, TWB crew. Christina, Milton, Florida. Raj is from Sydney, Australia. Ernie, hi from Statica, Dutch. What is that? Dutch Caribbean. Is it Saint? I don't know what that is. Where are you from, Ernie? You're somewhere in the Caribbean. I know that much. Thanks, buddy. William Whitman, Bill from Las Vegas. We are starting to open up. No buffets, though. Interesting. Yeah, I was imagining that. I'm quite curious to see how it's going to work out in Las Vegas now going forward with these new social distancing measures being taking place. It's going to be interesting. Welcome from Vegas, man. Wanda Seward, hello from California. Welcome, Wanda, to my channel tonight. Nice to see you. Thomas, hi from rainy New Jersey. Rainy Creston, man. We're sharing the rain tonight. David Dees, hi, Dave from downtown Miami, near Port of Miami. Fantastic. Bob Decker, MSP. Again, I don't know where that. I don't know where that is. Andrew, Central Indiana, USA. Ben, great time to eat cheese puffs. Cheryl. Hankins, hi, Bruce from Maryland. Welcome from Maryland, Cheryl. Tamara, booked a cruise for November. We'll see how it goes. I hear you there. Fierro 880. Oh my gosh, Bruce, I need some whiskey after Morgan Stanley premature suggestions, but I still made some cashing in on Thursday just to see I could have had 10,000 more if I waited one more day. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Well, I got to say, the folks at Morgan Stanley, they are saying that it might be time to unload cruise stocks no matter what happened. I think today the market took a shot across the board with a lot of companies like airlines, hotel stocks. They all had a big day. I think there was a short squeeze going on. I don't know if you folks know what that means, but I'll explain it in a minute. CB, hey, Bruce, Carolyn from Westchester, New York. Welcome, Carolyn from Westchester. Susan, Victoria, Australia, cold and cloudy here. Sylvia's here in the house. Hey, Bruce, you are on late tonight. Sylvia from Greensboro. I am. You never know when I'm going live on my channel. I warn you guys. I always warn you folks. You make sure that when you subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe, but also hit that little bell icon. Make sure you click on that and tell YouTube you want YouTube to tell you when Bruce is going on, whether he's doing a video or going live, because you have no idea whenever I go live, and I'm on late tonight. A lot of my regulars do not know that I'm going. I didn't announce it. I just went live. So yes, a Quality by Design. Hello from St. Catharines, Ontario. Welcome from St. Catharines to my show. I used to live in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, so I know the area. My cousin used to live in Niagara Falls, right near the falls themselves on a farm. I know that area in which you live. I went to college in Toronto, so I know the area. Welcome all from Ontario. John from Westchester is also here. Eugene 96, West Palm Beach, Florida. Nice. Welcome. CB, hey, Bruce from Carolyn, Westchester, New York. Jason, Lakeland, Florida, $1.89 a gallon for gas down there. Sean Murphy, hello from Brighton, Colorado. Happy Friday to you and all of you folks watching me live tonight. Hello from St. Catharines. William, Mark, Azan, staying safe, right on. Ray is here, LES, welcome Ray. Jana, Brooklyn, Love, New York, right on. John MV, John from Westchester, it's rainy. Bob Deckers, Bruce, I'm from Minneapolis, right on, man. Minneapolis, St. Paul, MSP, right on. William, Sebring, Florida. Jeffrey saying hello. Hey, Jeffrey, where? Kim Hawkins, hello from the mountains of East Tennessee. Welcome, Kim Hawkins. Juan Canas, hi, Sonia. Ray is saying, let's all give Bruce a thumbs up. That's a great idea. Thank you guys for thumbs up. Somebody let me know how many thumbs ups have I got going on right now. I do not know. Can't tell you how many thumbs ups I have. I know there are 85 of you watching me live right now on Friday night, 9:44 on June the 5th. 2020. What's up, Bruce? Watching you from West Palm Beach, Florida, says Eugene. Svetlana is here. Do you know where is Mario from Royal Caribbean now? Since he can't stay on a cruise at this point, I don't know where Mario is. He's that full-time guy living on a cruise ship all the time. He can't live on a cruise ship right now. I believe he's got a condo in Florida somewhere, but don't hold me to it, but I think that's what I know. I believe I read that or heard that somewhere. I hope Mario's doing okay. I'm sure he's missing the cruise ships right now. Juan, hi, Bruce from Miami. Welcome, Juan, from beautiful Miami, Florida. Ben, school year is over in Broadlands. Time for me to go crazy. Jeff is here. Jeff Mold, good day, Bruce from Perth, Australia. Welcome from Perth, man. Nice to have you here. Sandy Robinson. Hi from Sandy Robinson in cloudy Malibu, California. Got a lot of Californians watching me. Fantastic people in California watch me. Lucas D. Hey from New York. Welcome. Andrew Everett's thumbs ups for you. Thank you. Quality by Design says, Bruce, you got 35 thumbs ups. Thank you guys. Keep them coming. That would be great. Ray is saying 6 something. Michelle 35. Thank you guys for if we can get the thumbs ups going, that would be great. Jason is here. Ernie is here. Taurus Family Vacations. He's in Miami, Florida area. He keeps a condo there. That is where he hangs out when he's not on a cruise ship. Right on. Fantastico. Susan, Miami area. Okay. Ray is saying 6 thumbs ups. Okay. Well, if we got 6, we got 6. If you guys can throw me a thumbs ups tonight, that would be terrific. I would love it. Vida Udink. Hello, Bruce from Utah. Stephanie is here. Hi, Stephanie. If I could, I'd live on a cruise ship all the time also. Right on. Mike Budd is here. Bruce, relax, laughing out loud. You're going to get thumbs ups. Eugene, Bruce, what cruise will be first to go out? I wish I could tell you. I wish I knew. Ben, finished my cheese puffs, now in my hot tub. And nothing better on a Friday night to have your cheese puffs, get into a hot tub, and watch Bruce live on a Friday night. You got to love that. Sandy Robinson is giving me thumbs ups. Kay is here telling me, hi from Jacksonville, Florida. Love all your news and trivia. Thank you so much. Roger Harris, 5 thumbs ups. Tim Bowman is saying 45. I don't know what is what. 45 thumbs ups. What's going on? I don't think my screen is updating, and that could be the issue, folks. If you're getting me on a stream, you might have to refresh to get right in live with me. Jason, Bahamas Paradise is going out in July. We sure hope so. We'll see what happens here. I did do a video today talking about the cruise business, talking about fact or fiction or speculation, I think is how I worded my video today. I was talking about what was going on out there right now and letting you know what I know, what I'm hearing is going on from the cruise lines. But then there's a lot of speculation out there. I was talking today about what happens, what's been happening so far this year, how cruising kind of stopped in March, and apart from a couple of cruise ships that were sort of stuck at sea for a while, but eventually they got into port. And I was telling you that in the video I did today, I was talking about how this year, 2020, we were supposed to have 30,000 people going on cruise ships this year, and it didn't happen. I would bet you that not even 7.5 million people were able to take a cruise during 2020. 22 million plus might not get a cruise in the way it's going now. Where we're hearing some cruises have canceled all of their cruises. Of course, if you were planning a cruise to Alaska, it's gone. If you were planning a cruise to Canada, New England this fall, that's gone. A lot of the transatlantic cruises are probably not going to happen. A lot of the cruise ships that were going to do cruises this year for transatlantic or European cruises, what have you, they're not where they're supposed to be to do that. They are taking crew home. A lot of cruise ships right now are in Manila Harbor in the Philippines trying to offload Filipino crew members. There are got to be 50, 70,000 of them on ships out there. They've been dropping tons of them off. Indonesia crew members, India crew members, to China, to wherever else. Just a ton being dropped off. And so cruise lines are in no position to do their cruising this year. Michelle Forbes says, Bruce, you have 48 thumbs ups. Carl is saying, wow, Debbie Manuel is in the house. Hi, Debbie Manuel from Chico, California. Welcome to my surprise Friday night show. Nice to have you here. Tori's The Family Adventures, 30,000 question mark. Sylvia, hey, Debbie, so surprised Bruce is on this late. That's right. I'm on. You never know when I go live. In the Philippines, I would not be surprised if 50 plus thousand Filipino crew members are waiting to disembark. I know that there were, I think, 11 cruise ships taking crew members to Barbados. Now, some of them have been successful to offload crew members and get them home. But the deal is that cruise ships were going to Barbados, to Bridgetown, and after testing and being cleared by the Barbados authorities, they would be taken by the busload to the airport where chartered aircraft were being flown in by the cruise lines, looking like, it looks to me like 200, 250 per plane. And they would be taken to the airport, right onto their aircraft. And then the planes would power up and fly out of there with their 200, 230, 250 crew members at a time and repatriate them from wherever they're coming from, whether it's Europe, whether it's India, whether it's the Philippines. Again, I don't know. And a lot of crew members are being flown out of the Barbados area by the cruise lines. Donna Manitou, so much of the cruising industry right now is just conjecture. We can talk between ourselves, but I wait for the facts from the cruise line. Cruises booked for 2021, and we'll see if they'll happen. I hear you there. Carl is saying, thanks. Thank you, Carl. Debbie Manuel is saying, Bruce, do you think our group cruise will be canceled in December? I love seeing you tonight. We have a group cruise booked for December the 6th on Harmony of the Seas. The ship is in Barbados. That's what it's doing, offloading crew. The ship can be in Port Canaveral, can be in Fort Lauderdale, Miami in a short period of time. Within a day or two, it can sail back there. But our cruise is booked for December the 6th. That is our scheduled departure time, December the 6th for a 7-day cruise. I sure hope it'll happen, Debbie. I know that I can show folks out there a little bit of info about our, cruise ship. There we go. Here's a picture of the Harmony of the Seas. That is the ship that we're hoping to go on. We were looking to leave here from Port Canaveral to head down to a Perfect Day Coco Cay. Let me just clear off Debbie's message there so we can see the whole map. There we go. We were hoping to go to Perfect Day Coco Cay and then be at sea for a while, get down to St. Thomas, St. Kitts, and then a couple of sea days, work our way back to Port Canaveral. The ship itself is beautiful, of course. It's one of the largest ships in the world. And we were going to go here. We were going to here to Perfect Day Coco Cay or Coco Cay, however you like to say it. And we were hoping to spend some time on the beach or ride those water slides. Again, depending on what you want to do on that island, lots to do. You can rent a private cabana or semi-private cabana. You can do something like that. But we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen here. Right now, the cruise is still on. The Harmony of the Seas is supposed to be on this trip. But of course, cruise lines at this point in time have canceled cruising until about July, August of this year. Some cruise lines are saying that when they do come back, they're going to come back with a limited number of cruises, that they won't bring all the cruise lines back. There's one of the logos for my, there's a logo that we got put together for the Traveling with Bruce channel. There's a bunch of merchandise available with that logo on it. But we just don't know what the status is of this cruise. It's on for now. We're on another cruise, which is on this ship right here, Odyssey of the Seas. Now, this ship is still being finished, constructed. It's supposed to be ready by the end of this year, and we're supposed to be on this ship February of 2021. This is an artist renditioning of what the ship will look like. Here's another one here from above. The ship's going to have all kinds of features on it, but we're supposed to be on this ship February 2021 for an 8-day cruise, and I hope it'll happen. I can't tell you if it will or not, but I hope so. We'll wait it out. So I'm waiting out Royal Caribbean and the CDC and the all of the testing protocols and the virus protocols. What's going to happen to see if one or both of our cruises will happen? I don't know. So I'm not changing my booking. I'm hoping it'll happen. I can't wait to get to Florida. I'd like to get there before the first cruise, do a couple of meet and greet opportunities to meet as many of my subscribers as I can in the Florida area, get on the ship, and then maybe after the cruise is over, do another meet and greet in the area, and then work my way back to Canada. Of course, in February, same thing. I'd like to get there before the cruise happens and do a couple of get-togethers with the subscribers of mine. So lots of hopes, dreams, and aspirations. We'll see what happens, but right now, we're just taking it day by day, moment by moment, and we'll just see what what's going to happen here. And like I say, Debbie, there's your comment again. I will hope for the best, but we'll see what the cruise lines do, and what Mother Nature has in mind for us. Sue Ross, hi Bruce from a cold Melbourne. Welcome from Melbourne, Australia. Debbie, hi Sylvia. Oh, me too. Jeff Mold is saying, wash your hands. Good idea. Nick B is saying, Bruce, you have 53 thumbs ups and counting. We have 106 viewers now. Thank you for finding me tonight, guys. Welcome to the TWB Traveling with Bruce live show, surprise live show. I've got trivia lined up for you if you are interested. And that was Extra Dad saying hello, Extra Dad. Hi, Bruce from New Jersey. James Townsend saying hi from New Jersey. Welcome, James. Eric Z, still waiting for my Norwegian cruise refund. Hopefully that won't be too much longer. Remember, a lot of those folks are working from home right now. Jason Kimmons, congratulations to those that bought Carnival stock when it was around $7.90 a share. $8, $9, $10, $11, $12, $13. Anybody who bought cruise shares in the last 3 months have probably done relatively well, or at least 2 months. Anyway, Juan, we are booked aboard Harmony on the 6th. It looks like 6th of September, if I got that right. Ernie Simmons, Harmony is great. Ray is saying that I love trivia nights. Right on, Ray. Sylvia, Bruce, are you going to get on the water slide? Wee-hee. I don't know about that. I'm pretty old. James, yes, Harmony is great. Carol from California. I don't like the big ships. First cruise on the SS Mariposa in the 70s. 300 passengers. Oh, you must have been spoiled rotten with that cruise. You're planning any West Coast cruises? George wants to know. Not yet, George, but there will come a time. I am definitely doing it. I've done West Coast cruises. Loved them. James Townsend, my first cruise was on the Regent Sun in 1994, but I have no idea how many passengers were on that ship. Ben H. Trend, my wife just gave me a cocktail. Way to go, Ben. You got it made every way to Sunday there. West Coast cruising, I've been on several. I've been on the Oosterdam from Holland America out of San Diego down to Mexico. Was on the Ruby Princess, I believe, and I was on another Princess ship. Name escapes me right now, but I've taken 2 Princess cruises out of Los Angeles down to Mexico and back. Enjoyed all of them, and great 7-day getaway. You get a sea day all the way down to Cabo, then you go to Mazatlan, go to Puerto Vallarta, get a couple of sea days on the way back. Great time to it. Great way to unwind. Love those cruises. MG Tow made a small fortune on all 3 cruise lines, and they are still cheap. Buy NCL, RCL, CCL. Welcome, MJ. Joel Harris, you're live in Minola, Long Island, New York. Right on, Joel. Thank you for watching me live tonight out of Long Island. Jan is here. Better late than never. Wouldn't miss a chance to hear Bruce. Jan, how you doing? Welcome to the show tonight. I'm begging for thumbs ups and hoping folks will find me tonight so we can do some trivia here. Cynthia G, are you doing trivia this evening? Yes, I am. We're doing trivia tonight. This is a live show with TWB. I usually go live on Monday nights. I go live twice on Mondays. I go live at 7 o'clock Eastern time just for sponsor members. And if you want to know who they are, just look for anyone who's following me. You'll see their name highlighted in green, and they've got a little logo beside their name. That means they're a sponsor member. Those folks are allowed to join me for 1 hour for a sponsor member hangout show from 7 p.m. Eastern until 8 o'clock Eastern. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, I go live on the same channel with my regular live cruise ship update show. And all of you are welcome to join me there, of course. If you'd like to become a sponsor member of Traveling with Bruce, I'd love to have you join me as a sponsor member. There should be a link down below here somewhere, maybe. If you go to my homepage on a laptop, you'll find a join button for sure to become a member of this channel, sponsor member. Love to have you join me. You get your name highlighted in green. You get a logo beside your name. You get to use special emojis. And every once in a while, I do a video just for sponsor members. And of course, I go live every Monday at 7 o'clock for sponsor members. And love the fact, I think we have 35 now or 36 sponsor members. It's growing every week. It's fantastic. Welcome all of you. Richard is here from Vegas. Welcome, Richard Kreider from Vegas. Nice to have you here. Nathaniel, what up, Bruce? Welcome, Nathaniel Brown. DMT, hello, Bruce from Charleston, South Carolina. Cirque du Soleil artist experiencing some, and I'm not sure what that is, but welcome, D. Eugene was supposed to be on my cruise to NCL Joy to Alaska tomorrow. Just not happening, is it? Jen, let's make it the biggest thumbs ups ever for Bruce tonight. Thank you, Jen, for that encouragement. Ray, I'm still showing 6 thumbs ups. Yeah, your machine isn't updating. We're over 50 now, I think. Hello, Bruce from Charleston. Experiencing similar situation with international travel. Can't get anywhere right now. I hear you there, D. Kirk Brunson from the Big Apple is in the house. Welcome, Kirk Brunson, to the show. Nice to have you here tonight. Ernie, Carnival Destiny was my first ever cruise. Tell me, folks, what ship did you go on for your first ever cruise? What was the first ship, the name of the first ship you ever took a cruise on? Let me know. If you remember the year, tell me that too. That would be great. Tell me, what itinerary did you have? Where did you go? How long was it? Do you remember any of that stuff? Carol Shower is here. Shower from Wisconsin. Carol, welcome. Tamara, Mark Hez. I was supposed to be on the Hall America cruise on Zuurdam on the 3rd of June in the Mediterranean. Oh, man, that would have been great. Jan is telling me we now have 64 thumbs ups already on this show without anyone knowing about the fact that I was on the air. Thank you guys for 64 thumbs up. Keep on coming. Let's break 100 as fast as we can, because every thumbs up tells YouTube to promote this show to YouTube followers, and we'll see how many we can get to join us tonight. This is awesome. Angie, hi, Bruce, here from Atlanta. Welcome, Angie from Atlanta. Ray saying, I'm not sure what that means. Tim Bowman, 69 thumbs ups update. Fabulous. Ben, hello, Bruce. It's Ben's wife. I joined Ben in the hot tub to watch this. Fantastic. You know what's great about taking a hot tub is having someone else take a hot tub with you. That's the best thing about a hot tub. Quality by design. Allure of the Seas was my first cruise ship. Fiero Explorer of the Seas 2002 Eastern Caribbean was my first cruise. Carnival Splendor 2016 was my first cruise as C-72. Right on, guys. Jan is saying Queen Mary 1960 and Queen Elizabeth Return transatlantic first cruises. Cynthia, Carnival Inspiration to Ensenada from Long Beach was the first cruise for Cynthia. Cynthia, Juan, Emerald Seas, late 70s out of Miami was my first cruise. Carol Shower, Empress Cuba 2019 was my first cruise. Ray, a 5-day on the Liberty of the Seas was my first ever cruise. CB, QE2 from New York City in 1980. I was only 9 years old. Carolyn is saying, wow, 1980. Transatlantic on the Queen E2. That would have been something you'll never forget. Brad, Andre, Dolphin Line, Seabreeze, 500 passengers, knee knocker, doorways. Right on. Kim Hawkins, first cruise, Carnival Glory, December 2006, 14 years ago. Michelle Forbes, Carnival Inspiration was my first cruise in the Mexican Riviera, November 1998, 22 years ago. Can you believe it when we say it like that? It's unreal. George Holder, Bruce, you're getting thumbs ups tonight. Thank you, George, so much, buddy. Welcome, and thank you for being a sponsor member. Ben H. Tran, Majesty of the Seas, 1992, 28 years ago, my first ever cruise. William Ralph, on the Norway, was that the SS Norway? That would have been something. Eugene, Carnival's Imagination in 1997, my first ever cruise. Christina Blanchard, Royal Caribbean, first cruise, 18-day transatlantic cruise to Europe in 2013. That must have been something you've never forgotten, I am sure. Fantastic, you guys. Anna Smith is saying, hi, Bruce. Hi, Anna Smith. Welcome to Traveling with Bruce on a Friday night. It's a surprise live show. Angie Bell, Norway, the 1992 NCL I was on. That was my first cruise. Ben, on our honeymoon, he says, A Legend of the Seas, says D. Royal Caribbean, 1996, Alaska was my first cruise. Susan Hurd, May the 3rd to May 31st, 1963. TV Fair Skies, Sitmar, Southampton, UK to Melbourne, Australia. Oh man, you'll never forget a cruise like that. That's got to be something. I remember the first time I was on an ocean liner. I certainly remember more of I have to say this, my memories are either my first or second transatlantic, because my first transatlantic I was 4, my second I was 7, and that was 1962, and that was on the it'll come to me. That was from Germany back to Canada, because my father was in the armed forces, the Canadian military. He had finished a 3-year stint in Germany with NATO, and the entire group that he was with came back with families from Germany back to Canada. That was the home lines was the brand of the ship. That was the line, the cruise line, Home Lines. And at the moment, the name of the ship escapes me, but I'll bring it back. But it was, I believe, a 6-day transatlantic, and I have a lot of strong memories about that trip. You just don't forget those. Debbie Manuel, Grand Princess, April 2001, Eastern Caribbean was her first cruise 19 years ago. Carol from California, Pacific Far East Line, Mariposa, 73, 45-day cruise to the South Seas. We did a partial passage from San Francisco to Hawaii. Oh man, that must have been something else. Awesome. Eric Z, Majesty of the Seas, first cruise, a 1999, a Bahamas cruise. Fantastic. Robert Malott, hello from Waterbury, Connecticut. Welcome, sir, to the show. Late Friday night, unannounced. We're now up to 110 followers here. Every time you guys throw a thumbs up on this channel, it makes YouTube send out the alerts that this show is live. Let's get everybody on this show tonight. Give me a thumbs up and help me promote this show tonight. This is awesome stuff. Joel Harris, Carnival Mardi Gras, 1994, the original Mardi Gras. Fantastic. Ray is saying that the Liberty of the Seas first cruise 2015. MG Tow, tell them what a short sail is. I will do that for sure. Who else is here? Kay Breeden, a Big Red Boat, Atlantic, 1987 was my first cruise. That's a while ago, isn't it? Fantastic. Kathleen, Carnival Fantasy into the Bahamas, 1993. Right on. Tamara, my first cruise was 1982 on the SS Dolphin to the Bahamas. Anne Allen is here. SS Norway, 2000, Caribbean somewhere. That would have been a pretty cool deal. A big ship, the biggest in the world at the time, I would imagine. Fantastic. Kirk Brunson is saying, my first cruise, 2018, New York City to Florida, Bahamas on the Norwegian Gem. Andrew is here. Andrew Everts took 18-hour cruise from Stockholm to Helsinki in 1982 in an auto ferry, and now has been converted to a cruise ship in the Mediterranean. Right on. Stephanie Dory, 2008, my first cruise, Carnival Glory. Sean, 1978, Sitmar, Fair Seat, 600 passengers. Amazing. Used real keys to enter the rooms. Yeah, those are the days of real keys. Jan, Stan Mikita was on my first cruise, says Jan. That's awesome. The former Chicago Blackhawk legendary hockey player. Michelle Forbes, last cruise was Carnival Triumph Modified Eastern Caribbean in March 2000. Kirk Brunson is throwing up some neat emojis because he's a sponsor member. Don Griffith, first cruise, 1991, Premier Majestic. Rita Freeman, my first cruise, 1977, Sitmar, Fair Sky around the Pacific Islands. Jan, when was your first cruise? Like I say, my first cruise or any time on the ocean, 1959, crossing the Atlantic, and then 1962 coming back. So from Canada to Germany, Germany to Canada. And I can't remember the name of the ship right now. I'm too excited about this show, but I was on the Home Lines, which is an Italian cruise line. And I remember we were in bunk beds, my sister and I don't know if I had the upper or lower. I probably had the upper. And then my parents, I believe, had bunk beds themselves, if I recall. The dining times were set. You had breakfast at the same time, same table, same waiter, lunch and dinner. Dinner, my parents always dressed up. My father was in a suit and tie. My mother was in her best evening gown, dressed to the nines, and she had that Chanel No. 5 on, which was just so overpowering. I remember. And you could smoke in those days anywhere you wanted. So my father was smoking and my mother was smoking in the dining room. After dinner, which was always excellent, we'd go for a little walk around the ship, and then my sister and I would go to bed. It would be about 8 o'clock in the evening, and we'd be pretty dog tired because all day long we were running around that ship having a great old time. And my parents would get us tucked into bed, and then they would leave, and they would go to the entertaining area, to the where the orchestra was playing. And my father was a musician. He was in the marching band for the unit that he was in. I believe it was the Royal Dragoons for the Canadian military. And all of the other members of the band were on that cruise with their wives and their kids. We're all heading back to Canada at the end of the 3-year run. And my parents would be in the big ballroom where the band was playing, and they would be dancing and smoking and drinking and telling jokes all night long, every night on this 6-night transatlantic cruise. Oh, man, the parents were loving this cruise because the kids were sleeping and the parents were partying, which didn't happen the rest of the time that you were on an Army base, obviously. So this was a pretty good time. And they loved it. And we got back to Canada. I think we landed in Montreal. I'm not sure if we landed in Halifax. So we may have landed in Montreal. And then we took a CP train, Canada Pacific train, to Toronto. And I remember in Toronto landing there, and my mom and dad had relatives. My father's uncle lived in there. That was my father's mother's brother. And we stayed in my father's in my father's uncle's house for a couple of weeks in Toronto. All had been prearranged, pre-planned. They couldn't wait for us to get in. And the stories, and oh my gosh, it all went crazy from there. Anyway, that's how I landed back in Ontario, Canada, and ended up living in Bay Ridges, Ontario for a number of years, and then to Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario, where I lived for quite a number of years before I moved to Western Canada in Calgary. So yeah, the next time I was on a ship was in 2008 on the Holland America Oosterdam for a 7-day cruise from San Diego to Mexico and back. And a good friend of mine had been pestering me for 4 years now. He'd been bugging me. Bruce, you and Jennifer should join us, my wife and I, for a cruise. We'd have a great time. We've been doing these Hawaii cruises. We've been doing these Caribbean cruises. We've been doing these Mexican cruises. You gotta come with us on a cruise. We would have a really good time. And finally, I gave in and said, all right, oh, fine. I'll go with you and your wife on a cruise. And he said, let me pick it. And he picked the Holland America Oosterdam ship, built in 2002. Here it was 2008. It was only 6 years old. And we were going from San Diego down to Cabo San Lucas, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta. And it was fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. We had the same table every night in the dining room with our same waiters. And boy, did they spoil us rotten. We had a great time. We watched the shows, and I enjoyed the spa. I bought a spa package for the week for my wife and I, and Jennifer and I. We loved that. Those heated ceramic lounges. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. And by about 10:30 every night, we were in bed because we were exhausted. It was fantastic. And I was ready to keep going, man. I was ready to go on a cruise again. Thank you all for joining me. Tim Bowman, 1995 Carnival Sensation. That was my first cruise ship. LA to Mexico, man, that one must have been a lot of fun too. Ben is saying that our second cruise was on the Majesty of the Seas in 2002. Robert, my first cruise was from New York City to Canada on Carnival. Ernie, Destiny, 2007 from Puerto Rico, my first cruise. MG, Carolina Express, Long Beach to Avalon, right on. Sean Murphy, I've been on the Fair Sky, Fair Sea, and Fairwind Laugh Out Loud Go Sitmar cruise is no longer in business. Robert Moncada, Seascape out of Port Canaveral back in 1989. Sylvia is saying, Kirk, how are you feeling these days? Are you getting better? Sean is here. Hi, Bruce. First and only cruise, Anthem of the Seas 2018. Welcome, Sean, sponsor member to this channel. Thank you so much for your support, Sean. You're my newest sponsor member as of a few days ago, and welcome aboard to the crowd. This is great. Nice to have you as part of the channel sponsor members. Candy Jackson, 2006 Royal Caribbean, Catalina, San Diego, Ensenada. That has been my only cruise so far. I had a cruise booked on Norwegian Encore for March the 15th, rebooked on Breakaway July 26th. Now I'm rebooked for the Joy on January the 3rd. You keep going, girl. It's going to happen. You'll be cruising sooner or later. Rita, first to Australia on the Flaminia from Malta, migrated to Australia. Wow, that must have been something. Carol from California, hubby's first was Navy boat in Vietnam. That wasn't the luxury cruise. I don't think so. Kirk Brunson, Sylvia, doing good. Back to work already. Way to go, Kirk. Recovered from the virus, went to the hospital, and is back. Ray, my second cruise on the Carnival Sunrise to Bermuda last year. James, Island Breeze to Mediterranean in 1998. Jacqueline, MV Freeport in 1979 was my first cruise. Cheryl Hankins, Carnival Fascination 2007. Jacqueline, Home Lines, my second one was on the Oceanic in 1976. The Homeric. The ship I was on was called the Homeric. I knew it would come to me. Home, ERIC. The Homeric on Home Lines was the name of my transatlantic cruise on the way back from Germany. I don't remember the name of the first ship I took to Germany, but on the Homeric coming back. I think we had about 13 to 1,500 people maximum capacity at the time. It was considered a big ship. I think it was around 30,000 tons. Nowadays, these ships are 100,000 tons, 150,000 tons, 230,000 gross tons for the big Oasis class ships. Man, things have changed. When Mac is here, my first cruise was to Baja, Mexico with Royal Caribbean, November 1997. Jan is telling me we have 80 thumbs ups with 102 people watching. Thanks you guys for that. I really appreciate it. Joel Harris, what does it take to become a sponsor member? Just go to my homepage and hit the join button. All the details are there. You make a monthly commitment to the channel. You become a sponsor member automatically, and I send you alerts every time I go live for sponsor member only shows every Monday night, 7 o'clock. It's locked in Eastern time, and we have a lot of fun there. Just check it out. Jeff Mold, 1987, my first cruise. P&O, Fair Star, Southeast Asia. Right on, Jeff. Debbie Manuel, so fun hearing all the first cruises from everybody. Margie, first cruise, 1979, Royal Caribbean, Song of Norway trip, Miami, Dominican Republic. Right on. Margie was going to say something. Sean Murphy, 12 years old, could hear my grandmother snoring in the cabin next door through the wall to Alaska, then played bridge the next day. Right on. Debbie, Jan, hello, Jan from Debbie. Margie, DRPRVI. Okay, Jan is saying hi to Debbie. Eric Z. How about the last cruise taken? When was your last cruise, guys? Do you remember when you took your last cruise, and what ship were you on? Jan, so much fun to hear all these stories. We should compile a book. Brandon, nope. Bruce, do you think that the CDC and the cruise lines are actually talking? Because a lot of them are setting up new cruises in August, which is really close. No way they do they announce new cruises without talking. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm hearing conflicting stories that there is communication and there isn't. By the way, cheers all of you from Traveling with Bruce here on one of my mugs. Got my caffeine-free Diet Coke on a Friday night. It is 10:17 Eastern Time, Friday night in New York, Miami, 7:17 out west where I am. So welcome one and all to my show. I'm glad you're here. We got trivia coming up. But talking, is the CDC talking to the cruise lines or the cruise lines talking to the CDC? I'm sure behind the scenes there's lots going on. The CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association, I'm sure they're talking. But I don't know if any final decisions have been made, if final protocols have been worked out. What will the occupancy rate be, or the occupancy allowable be on cruise ships when we start recruising? Will cruise lines be allowed to go just like before? Will they be restricted to 75% occupancy? Will they be restricted to 50%? I don't know. Will cruise lines, how many ships will they bring on? I know that Norwegian's talking 5. Carnival's talking 8 ships coming back to start with. Where will the itineraries really be? There's a lot of unanswered questions, and so we're all just waiting to see what happens. I know the cruise lines had announced cruises 2 years ago that were supposed to be happening now, next month, the month after, the month after, month after. Will all those cruises be redone, rebooked? I don't know. If you've got a cruise out there booked for, say, 6 months from now, will your cruise 6 months from now be allowed to go with all the people that booked on that cruise, or will your cruise in 6 months only be allowed to go with half the people? That's the thing I wonder about going forward. Will a lot of you get cancellation notifications, even though the CDC says, yes, cruising can start again? Will you then get cruising cancellations because the cruise ship will say to you, I'm sorry, but only half the people can go. And with the floor plans that we have, certain cabins cannot be booked under the new CDC guidelines, and your cabin is one of those that can't be done. We have to say no. We're going to give you credit, and we'll try to rebook you down the road. Well, if the next 6 months after that, all the cruises are at 50% occupancy, that means out of 30 million cruisers, 15 million potential cruisers, 7.5 million will get cancellations. 7.5 million will be allowed to go. Folks, this is what's up in the air right now. I just don't know. That's what I was talking about in today's video. By the way, to satisfy MG Toe and to fulfill a promise I made to him, what is a short sale? Remember, today the shares of cruise lines did very well. Let me take a look here and show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you the what happened in the stock market today. For example, this is Royal Caribbean. This is today's chart. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this very well to you or not, if this will focus very well or not. But here we go. There we are. Okay, the stock closed at $69.44, up $11.75 a share today. And then after the market closed and after hours trading, it went up another $2.06 to $71.50. However, during the day today, Royal Caribbean hit a high price today of $74.59. That's how high it went today. Now, yesterday, the shares were sitting in and around the $58 mark. And earlier this week, let me just show you, this is the 1 week chart for Royal Caribbean. Here we go. See if I can get this to zoom. Again, I have to hold it in front of the camera, let the camera catch it. There it is. Early part of the week, it was in that 57, 56 range, and there it is as high as 74. Now, the stock earlier this year, when it hit its low price of the year, the shares reached a low of $19.25. This is just Royal Caribbean. People who bought at that level, $20 a share, $21, $22, $24, $25, $30 a share, they've done well. However, there are professional traders out there who've been betting against cruise line shares, thinking that they're going to go lower rather than higher. And there are a lot of players out there who were selling shares they didn't own in Royal Caribbean at $35, $40 a share, trying to buy them at lower prices. Now, those who sold the shares short at $100 a share and bought them back at $20, they made a killing. But there were short sellers selling all the way along the decline. As the shares were dropping, people were piling in to short sell. They want to sell the shares now and buy them back later at a lower price. And when the shares reached $19.25, which is the low of the last 52 weeks, all short sellers should have been buying back the stock. Now, in hindsight, that was the low. But even at $19.25, people were thinking it's going to go down to 10. People thought it would go even lower, and they were getting greedy. And so in the last couple of days, when the shares began to bounce back into this 50 range, short sellers got nervous and thought, I better buy these shares back because I shorted them at 100 or I shorted them at 70, and we're now at the 50 range. Even though we were down into the 30s, we're not going back to 30 right now, I should buy them back. Well, today and yesterday, panic set in, and there's a run on the stock. More buyers than sellers. And so the stock kept going up in price, and people who were thinking of selling decided, I'm going to sell at a higher price. I'm not going to sell at 63. Maybe I can sell at 67. When it got to 65, they thought, well, maybe I'll sell at 70. Got to 69, maybe I'll sell at 72. It went higher. And people who sold today probably have made money in the last couple of months, unless you paid $135 for them several months ago, and you're now getting 70 something, and you're only losing $60 a share instead of losing 110 a share. But as far as the short sellers are concerned, if you didn't buy back your stock, you have to buy them back sooner or later. And today could have been the day where stockbrokers started making phone calls to their clients saying, hey, listen, You shorted this stock at 40. You didn't buy it back at 20. It's now at 65. You either have to send more money to us to hold your position, or you got to buy back your stock, or we are going to buy you back in. And that could have happened in the last 24, 48 hours, that a whole bunch of investors were forced back into the stock at the current levels to cover their positions. And that created a larger demand for stock temporarily. And for a while, Royal Caribbean hit that mid 70 mark and then backed off back to the 67 mark. Now, Monday morning, I don't know. We might open at 57 a share. We might open at 77 a share, or right where we closed off. I have no idea. But right now, it's always a law of supply and demand, where how many buyers there are, how many sellers there are at any point in time determines the price of a stock. Now, over this weekend, a lot of investors might be saying, I bought those shares in the low 20s, mid 20s, high 20s, low 30s, and I'm doing rather well. Maybe I should take a profit and just sit back a while and see what I should do. This is what Goldman Sachs was telling its clients to think about this week. Goldman Sachs was telling its clients, you might want to consider selling out of your stock positions, certainly not chasing them here and buying them. You might want to consider letting the shares go, cashing in and sitting on the sidelines a while and waiting out this cruise shutdown to see what happens next. That could well be what has been happening in the brokerage firms. A lot of brokers are calling your clients, if they have, if you have a personal broker, your personal broker might be calling you to say, hey, look, you bought this at $32.50. It's sitting at $67. You might want to take a profit right now and sit on the sidelines. If it goes back to $35.40, buy it back again and ride up another wave if you want to. But why don't you consider that? Because the shares have had a good run, but they're not going back to $135. When the shares used to be $135 a share, the company was selling cruises. They were sailing with all their ships and couldn't keep up with the business. They're not sailing with a single paying customer right now. They're spending $275 million a month in cash to stay alive, and that's down from $1 billion a month that they were spending when they were operating. So the cruise line is losing $275 a month right now for every month it's not sailing with paying customers, and there is no start date that I can guarantee you right now for Royal Caribbean. It might be 2 months from now. It might be 4 months from now. If it's 4 months from now before Royal Caribbean starts to sail, they're going to lose another $1 billion. $275 million for 4 months is over $1 billion. It's $1.1 billion. And that money is gone into the atmosphere. It's evaporated. And you can't get that money back unless you're sailing. And even when you're sailing, the company doesn't make that kind of money per month. It might make $1 billion a year, $1.5 billion a year. It's going to take a while for Royal Caribbean to get all those losses back. So the shares might be overpriced temporarily. They may have reached too much too fast today. I don't know. We'll find out on Monday what's going on. So stock selling short, selling stock short is when you sell a stock, which what might be happening right now. There might be short sellers earlier today who were selling stock at $72 a share, hoping to buy them back at a lower price later this year. And they went short today because they may have been short already, got out. Now they're going short again. We'll find out what this imbalance is. If a whole bunch of short sellers show up on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and overpower the buying that's coming in, the stocks will drop again in price. And now we'll see how far they go the second time around. They might only go down to the 40 range and then bounce up. They might go to 30, bounce up. They might go to 30 and stay there. I don't know. This is all not determined until it happens. That's what's going on. All right. Hope I haven't confused you, and I hope you liked it. Sylvia, Bruce, I like your story about dressing up to go to the neighbor's house to watch the Flintstones. To watch the brand new color TV. That 1962, 63. We had neighbors across the street in Bay Ridges, Ontario, that had a color television, a console, 26-inch console color television, the only home on our street that had a color TV, and it was the talk of the neighborhood. And it was a husband and wife that lived there, no children, and they knew that my sister and I lived just across the street from them, and they asked my mother, would you like to, would you be interested in entertaining the idea of having your kids come on over here to watch our color television when the Flintstones are on? Because the Flintstones are broadcast in color. Well, my mom said, I'm sure they would love to do that. And so a date was arranged. And I believe it was like 5 p.m, and it was in the fall when we had those early sunsets. It was dark out. My mother, we came home from school. We had to take a bath. My sister and I had to take a bath, get all cleaned up, put on our Sunday finest. I was wearing a white shirt and tie and gray slacks and a jacket with black leather patent shoes. My sister was dressed with stockings and a dress and a blouse and, white party shoes. And then we went across the street to watch 30 minutes of color television at our neighbor's house across the street on this probably $1,000 television in 1962. $1,000 television. The house we were living in, my father bought the house for $12,000. The television was $1,000. We didn't touch that thing. We sat 6 feet back and we were just blown away with the Flintstones in color. Dino was purple. Couldn't believe the color of Dino. That was unbelievable. We walked home. We were just stunned at what we saw. Pretty cool stuff, let me tell you. Sunday finest to see a color TV. Unbelievable. Debbie Manuel, last cruise, NCL Bliss to Alaska, July 2018. I so need another one right now. I hear you there. Jan, Stephanie, hope all is well in Houston with you. Let's get through these comments and let's go right to trivia. I just got to catch up with you guys. Where are the comments? Oh my gosh, we got so many coming in. Sean Murphy, on the fair seat, 18 years old, took my prom dress for formal night. Right on. Now that's when cruising was cruising. Ben, a third cruise on the Costa Mediterranean. Juan, married aboard the Carnival Fascination, October 2002. Got married. Right on. Michelle Forbes, my next cruise, fingers crossed, January 2021, the Bliss to Mexico. Jan, please hit the like button for Bruce. Give Bruce thumbs up. Matthew Cunard, Franconia, New York to Bermuda, 1970. The first cruise, 50 years ago. Awesome. Sylvia Kirk, great. Just take it easy and be very careful. Bob, first cruise, Disney Wonder 2010 to the Bahamas. Angie Dell, 4 Detroit Pistons were on the Norway, and I sat at the table with John Sally. Lots of fun. 7 days to St. John and St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, San Juan, and somewhere else too. 1992, that had to have been. You never forget that. You just don't ever forget something like that. Is cool. George Holder, Royal Caribbean Viking Serenade, August 1993. First cruise. Jeannie, Bill and me, first cruise, Seattle to Alaska, Ruby Princess, 2015. Right on. Angie Bell, second cruise. Jason, my first cruise was in Sea Escape in the 1980s. Nathaniel Brown, my first cruise was the USS Midway, CV-41, Yokosuka, Japan, 1986. Debbie Manuel, Ben H. Trent, how do you like the Costa? Christina, Gate 1 River Cruise to Russia, 15 days, wonderful in 2018. And Gate 1 River Cruise to Germany, 16 days in 2019. That must have been awesome. Angie Bell, second cruise, Carnival Holiday, 1993. Ben H. Tran, fourth cruise, Holland America, Veendam, fifth cruise, Carnival Destiny, sixth cruise, Allure of the Seas, seventh cruise, Anthem of the Seas, eighth cruise, Anthem of the Seas. Michelle is saying 87 thumbs ups for Bruce right now. Ben, Debbie Manuel, it was okay. Sandy, first cruise, P&O Oriana, Nassau to Vancouver, British Columbia, 1967. I loved it. Even the hurricane, laugh out loud. Nassau in the Bahamas to Vancouver. What a cruise in 1967. Wow, that is awesome. Nathaniel Brown, last cruise this past December, Symphony of the Seas, Symphony by Design, Quality by Design, MSC Divina, Christmas 2019. Susan Hurd, P&O Australia Pacific area, March 15th to 27th, 2019. C-72, last cruise, Carnival Sunrise, return March the 12th, 2020, right at the end of it, right at the end of cruising. Tamara, Last cruise, 2019, Crown Princess from Dublin to the British Isle. Took my niece as a graduation present. Right on. William, NCL Getaway 2019 ship was packed. Brad, Andre, last cruise was August 19 to Greenland on Princess. Neat trip. Andrew Everett's ships with low capacity like riverboats are just starting in the USA. Kim Hawkins, last cruise, Carnival Sunshine, Christmas 2014. Next cruise, Empress of the Seas, Cape Liberty to Nova Scotia, canceled. Rebooked, Empress of the Seas, December 26th, if out of Miami, hopefully out of Miami. Sean, okay, last cruise, January 2020 on Carnival Freedom, twerked on stage for granny competition. Stephanie Dory, hot in the 90s, every day in Houston. Jan, I need a cruise to Alaska. No such luck. Jeannie, last cruise, March the 2nd, 2020, to the Bahamas on Mariner of the Seas, 75th birthday celebration, birthday present from hubby Bill. Right on. Jeff Mold, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Carnival stocks up big time today, weren't they just? Robert, last cruise on Carnival Vista back in October. Robert, I hope no food questions tonight on trivia. It's too late to eat. Yeah, no food questions tonight. Cynthia, last cruise was a Mexican Riviera in 2015 with Carnival Miracle. Next one booked is Alaskan cruise with NCL Encore. It's been a while. Right on. Sean C, cancel our next cruise. We canceled it March 2021 and rebooked to April 2022. Carol, last cruise, San Francisco to Hawaii, Grand Princess, November 2019. It was a 27th cruise. Alaska 2020 canceled, booked for April 2021. I love cruising. Hospice Medic, 1994, Carnival Holiday, Miami, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, back to Miami. That was my first cruise. Last cruise, NCLC, repositioning 2002. We were the first cruise ship into New York Harbor after 9/11. Wow. Bob Fan, last cruise, Carnival Miracle, May 2011, 8 days out of New York. Emily Archer, good evening, Bruce. Hi, Emily. How you doing? Margie, what do you think of Warren Buffett selling his portfolio? Well, he did what he had to do. He's reading long-term, and I think long-term he might be right. Short-term, things can happen, but he might be right long-term. We'll see. He wants to sit on cash right now. Maybe he feels he can get better bargains going forward, and he's a long-termer. So many unknowns, says Arvita. Emily, I posted my picture on your Facebook page and Instagram with my COVID sextant mask. Does you see it? Yes, you got your Traveling with Bruce sextant mask. Way to go. I saw it. Thank you so much for doing that. Still waiting for my mask. We checked our mail today. Not here yet. Hopefully next week. Wraith, 89 thumbs ups for Bruce. MG Toe. Morgan Stanley tried to tell people to sell 2 days ago that people should sell the cruise line. That's how corrupt the brokers are. Well, they don't control the market. They just, the research analyst made the call, said, hey, at that point, the shares had done unbelievably well. Now we have a short squeeze going on, I think, where there was forced buying. Maybe in the long run, they're right. I don't know. It's up to everyone to decide what to do. I'm just letting you know what they said. Brad, Midwest Rancher. Jan is saying, Stephanie, yes, I'm so happy I did Alaska and I was able to do it. I hope you get your chance next year. Andrew is saying MSC may be positioning itself to stay closed until next spring or later, but it's privately owned. Emily, trivia, yay, John Dittmer. Yeah, well, you have to see the Flintstones in color. Otherwise, you'll be missing a lot. I used to see it in black and white until we finally got a color TV in 1972. I was 17 when we finally got a color television. I was 7 when I saw color TV for the first time in my neighborhood of Bay Ridges, Ontario. It only took a decade to get my dad to buy TV, but he always told me, there's no dang way I'm spending $1,000 to buy a television set because you kids will break it in no time. You kids will flip that dial around so much, it'll cost $150 to get a repairman in here. We're not going to do it. And until 1972, finally, but by then, my mom and dad's house was worth, the house we were in was probably worth $40,000. And a new TV that we got, again, a console, would have been about $600. So, the ratio to the house value to the TV value had changed dramatically. And Dad finally caved and bought a color TV, and he loved it. We all loved it. We didn't break it, but we loved it. Anyway, Margie, watching Bonanza in color was so special. Oh, yeah. And the Ed Sullivan show in color. Oh, my gosh, that would have been something. Jan, Bruce, of course, you sat back from the TV because you remember that if you didn't, your eyes would flatten. That's right. Michelle is saying, Bruce, you've got 91 thumbs so far. She says 4 down. The rest are up. John Dittmer, Big Red Boat, 1995. First civilian cruise. Jeff Mold is saying we didn't get black and white until 1959. Marilyn will take first All America cruise in Koningsdam November. Hope I like it as much as Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. I think you'll like it. If you liked Celebrity, you're gonna like All America. I'm pretty sure. Jan is saying, Bruce, 90 thumbs ups. Emily is saying 96 thumbs ups as of 10:32. J-Lo, hello from People's Republic of San Francisco. Welcome. David People's first cruise was on the SS Emerald Seas over Christmas 1976. That's the year I met Jennifer, 1976. That is 44 years ago. Oh my goodness. Weren't we young in 1976? Oh my gosh. Cheryl Mankins, last cruise, January the 25th to February the 2nd, 2020, Southern Cruise, Carnival Horizon. Jeff is saying that Color TV came to Perth in Australia in 1975. That's when Color TV came to Perth. Unbelievable. Margie, our last cruise, November, December 2019, Holland, America, Mollendam, Amazon Explorer. Wow, that would have been something. Ben, next cruise, Norwegian Encore, November 22nd, 2020, out of the Big Apple. Maryland, last 3 back-to-backs. Celebrity Eclipse, South America, but turned into 4 cruises because Chile wouldn't let us get off the ship. Unbelievable. Carolyn, last cruise, Anthem for New York 2019 to welcome in 2020, New Year's Eve. Wow, that's awesome. New Year's Eve. George Holder, last cruise, Royal Princess on November 9th, 2019, 12 days to Alaska. Total cruises over the years, 84. 30 years, 84 cruises. Right on, George. That is awesome stuff. John Dittmer, last cruise, November 9th, 2019. Symphony of the Seas. My wife and I were the first couple who got married on the ship. We went big and then we went home. Right on. And the honeymoon is still going on. That's awesome. Wanda, last cruise, Panama Canal last year, Sky Princess. Tim Bowman, last cruise, Volendam to the Amazon and Caribbean, December 19 to January 2020. Awesome. Wanda, 101 thumbs ups. Way to go, Wanda. Thank you for that. Way to go, you guys. Thank you. We got 101 thumbs ups. Ernie, November 2019, MSC Seaside, my wife's birthday. Sandy, last cruise, number 28, Regal Princess, back-to-back, Eastern, Western, Caribbean, wonderful, 2018. J-Lo, Groove Cruise on Celebrity Infinity, January the 2020. Jan, 102 thumbs ups, Bruce. This is awesome. Emily, I was born in 74. Ben, I was born in 1970. Eric, last cruise, MSC Meraviglia, December 19, second ship to use MSC on the new island. Second ship to use that new island. Bob Fan, my parents bought their first color TV in 1978, 26-inch console. I was 18. I finally realized grass was green. Because our world was black and white in those days. Absolutely. Ben, I got my first car in 1990. And Sylvia saying trivia. And Sylvia, you are right. We've just caught up with everybody, all the comments. We're right up to speed. Let's go to trivia right now. I'm ready to roll. Let me set up my big-ass iPad here and pop up the trivia questions using my big-ass iPad pencil right here. And let me pop in the first question of the day. Oh, this is a good one. Let me get over here to my comments section, and I have preloaded my comments today over here on banners. Here we go. Let's see here. Here is the first question coming up after I set up my marker. I've got to get my marker set up here. There we go. I'm ready. All right. Here's your first trivia question for the night. Can you tell me the countries of the world? Not that one. Sorry, I got the wrong one. Hang on. Where did I do with it? What did I do with it? Uh-oh. What did I do with it? Did I hit the delete button? I couldn't have done that. Here it is right here. Here it is. Sorry. Here it is. Technical problems. Here's the first trivia question of the night. Tell me the names of the countries of the world with the most islands that have at least 500 square kilometers or larger in size. The countries of the world that have the largest, the highest number of islands that are at least 500 square kilometers or larger. All right, tell me. Ben H. Tran is thinking the United States of America has a lot of islands. Yeah, there's 28 islands that the United States owns. 28 that are 500 square kilometers or larger in size. That's hard to say. That's got to be like 15 miles by 10 miles or by 12 miles or larger. So there are 28 in America. John Dittmer, he's thinking about Greece. Greece has a lot of islands. The question is, does Greece have a lot of large islands? And there are 7 of them. Greece has 7 islands out of the 21 countries. Greece is about 18th in number of islands. And America is in number 4 position. America has the 4th highest number. Emily Archer is thinking the Bahamas because the Bahamas, the last I heard, have 700 islands. They have 7 islands that are 500 kilometers or larger in size. Grand Bahama would be one of them, I'm sure. Jan is thinking the Philippines. The Philippines has 19 islands, 500 or larger kilometers in size, square kilometers in size. So that would put the Philippines in 7th place worldwide. Sylvia had the Bahamas. Tim Bowman is thinking Indonesia. That's the number 1 country in the world. 64 islands for Indonesia that are 500 kilometers or larger in size. Number 1 country in the world for large collection of islands. Eric had the Philippines. Bob, Indonesia. Sandy, I'm not sure. Carolyn, Indonesia. Michelle, Greece. Sylvia is thinking Singapore. Well, Singapore is a city-state, and it's all by itself. So if it's an island, it's only the one. So no good. Ray is wondering about Japan. The country of Japan. Japan has 7 islands, 500 square kilometers or larger, tied for 20th place. C72, it's Bahamas. Tim in the Philippines, or Tamara. Michelle, the United Kingdom, the UK. The UK is an island unto itself, but it has 13 total islands that are 500 square kilometers or larger. The United Kingdom, that puts the United Kingdom in around the 10th most islands. Greece we've got from Susan already. Fiji, Stephanie is thinking about Fiji. Fiji doesn't rank, nope. French Polynesia, Marjorie is wondering about French Polynesia. Well, if you guessed France, the country of France has 10 islands that are 500 square kilometers or larger, and that probably includes French Polynesia, all right, or the area of. Michelle had Indonesia. Sean Murphy had Turks and Caicos. Unto itself, it is not ranking as the largest, highest number of islands. Doesn't make the top 21 list. Martin had Indonesia. Ben says, I'm lagging. You got to refresh, Ben. Ray is thinking about Australia, the country of Australia. Australia has 8 islands with the 500 square kilometers or more in mileage. So yes, in size, that would bring Australia into the top 13 of the world. Jan, if you're lagging behind, refresh your computers to try to catch up with me live. Sylvia's thinking Fiji. Margie's thinking Malaysia. The country of Malaysia does not have 7 or more islands. Philippines, we have Bob. Thank you. Thailand. Stephanie's thinking Thailand. Nope. Thailand is not on this list either. JRS. Jan is thinking Sweden. Sweden is not on the list. No. Japan we did. New Zealand. New Zealand just came in. That would be from Bob Fan. Bob, 4 islands. New Zealand has 4 islands at 500 kilometers or larger, square kilometers or larger. That puts New Zealand in 21st position, tied with one other country. Sandy Robinson is thinking Canada, the country of Canada. Canada is number 2 in the world for islands of 500 square kilometers or larger. Canada has 57 islands that are 500 kilometers or larger, square kilometers, putting Canada in 2nd place behind Indonesia. Cynthia, the United Kingdom. Debbie, sorry, had math in the U.S. No clue what square kilometer it is. It's about 300 square miles, roughly. Michelle Forbes, New Guinea. New Guinea. Well, Papua New Guinea has 14 islands, and that would put it in 8th place. Finland just came in. Finland, not on the list. Sorry, Michelle. Same for Jan. How about Japan? We did Japan already. Denmark. Ray is wondering about Denmark. 19 islands, 500 square kilometers or larger in size. Greenland would be one of them. 19 islands, putting Greenland in about a tie for 6th place. A tie for 6th place. Emily says, I've been to the Bahamas several times. Nathaniel, Great Britain. Chris Barnett. Hey, Bruce, trivia for your what country has the longest shoreline? Can't do that. Can't do your questions. You got to do mine. Carol from California tried Canada. Eric Z, New Zealand. We've already got these done here. Ray is thinking Sweden. We've tried Sweden. Norway. Ray is thinking Norway. Yeah, 15 islands. 500 square kilometers or larger for Norway, tied for 7th place. Solomon Islands, Bob Fan, 11 islands are 500 kilometers or larger. Solomon, that puts Solomon the Solomon Islands around 10th place. The Maldives, Ray is wondering about the Maldives. Don't have them on this list. Peru, the country of Peru. Nope, no can do, Bob. Chile, Bob Fan is thinking Chile. 26 islands, 500 square kilometers or larger in size for the country of Chile. That would put Chile in approximately 5th place for the number of islands that are 500 square kilometers or larger. Margie is thinking about Mexico. No, with all the coastline Mexico has on the Pacific and in the Gulf of Mexico, Mexico does not make the list of having enough islands to count. Ernie says you got 108 likes. Fantastic, guys. Keep them coming. This is awesome. Jim Sullins, Ecuador, 5 islands, putting Ecuador in about 20th place. Denmark, we've done. Thank you, Margie. Argentina. Ray is wondering about Argentina. No. The Netherlands, if we've tried it, we've done it already. It's not in this list anymore. Spain, yes, 8 islands for Spain, 500 kilometers or larger in size. Could be some of the Azores, could be the Mallorca, Palma de Mallorca, and others. 8 islands, putting Spain in approximately 14th place. Ireland is an island, but it's the only one. Russia, yes, 32 islands. Russia has 32 islands. 500 square kilometers or larger, putting Russia in 3rd place. Now you have the top, approximately you have the top 16 done. There are only 2 left. There's 1 in the Pacific and 1 in Asia left, but not Asia, the far Asia. I'm talking about Western Asia. And we'll see if you have any luck here. Africa, Argentina, Falkland, the Aleutians, Seychelles, Antarctica, Africa, Brazil, Norway, Brazil, Portugal. No, we have Vanuatu in the Pacific with 6 islands, and we have the country of India with 4 islands that are 500 square kilometers. You guys got all the others. You guys did really well. Let me rattle them off to you. The country with the most to the least on this 21 country list: Indonesia, number 1, Canada, number 2, Russia, number 3, United States, number 4, then Chile, Denmark, the Philippines, Norway, Papua New Guinea, United Kingdom, Solomon Islands, France, Australia, Spain, Japan, the Bahamas, Greece, Vanuatu, Ecuador, India, and New Zealand. Those are the 21 countries with the most islands that are 500 kilometers or larger, 500 square kilometers or larger in size. Cheers to all of you from TWB here out of Creston, British Columbia. That's hitting the spot. Let's go to the next one. And I'm just trying to keep my computer and my everything locked in here. Here we go. Good. Here we go. Setting up my my marker with my big ass iPad pencil right here. Here comes the next country. Alrighty. Here we go. Here's one. We haven't done this one for a long time. Can you tell me the countries of the world that have a lot of immigrants in the country? As a matter of fact, tell me the top 26 countries with the highest percentage of people living in those countries that are immigrants. In other words, expatriates. Tell me the countries with the highest number, percentage-wise, of expats. Not the number of people, but the percentage of the country's population we'll see what we can do with that. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let me double check here. Okay, here we go. Kirk Brunson is thinking the United States of America. The United States is U.S. on the list. Yes, it is. There are 46 million people in the United States living in the U.S. that are not American citizens. That makes up 14.5% of all people living in the United States. So one in 7? About every seventh person in the USA is not an American. Could be from Europe, Mexico, Canada, all over the world. John Dittmer is wondering about Canada. What kind of percentage in Canada? It's higher than in the US. The United States is 14.5%. Canada, it's 20.8% of the country population. It's only 7.2 million when you compare it to the United States figure. But out of Canada's total population, 1 in 5 people living in Canada are not Canadian. A lot of people love living here, love working here, and are trying to become Canadian citizens. It takes several years to do so, of course. Emily is thinking Sweden. What about Sweden for immigrant population? 16.7%, 1.6 million is the number, and it's 16.7% of the population. Susan Hurd is thinking Australia. In Australia, 29.7% of people living in Australia are not Australian by nationality. That comes out to 6.7 million people, and that's a pretty high number. Sylvia is thinking about China. Does China have a high number of foreigners living there in China? China does not make the list. And to make this list of the top 26 countries, you need at least 10.9% of your population. And China does not have 10% of its population from outside of China. Margie is thinking Germany. Germany, let me take a look. Yeah, 14.8%, just a little more than America. The United States is 14.5. Germany is 14.8. And the number of foreigners living in Germany, 12 million in Germany. So 1 in 8 or 1 in 7 approximately in Germany. Eric Z is thinking Singapore. Singapore, 44.8% of the population in Singapore is not of a Singapore nationality. That would be 2.5 million people. Not quite half of the population of Singapore is foreigners. United Arab Emirates, the UAE. That's the number one country. The United Arab Emirates has 7.8 million people living in there that are not from the United Arab Emirates. That represents 83.7% of the population of the UAE. 83.7% of folks living in the United Arab Emirates are not natives of the UAE. Wow, that's what makes it a truly international place. Michelle is thinking Peru. The country of Peru, not on the list. Ray is thinking the United Kingdom, the UK. The UK has 13.3% of its population, 8.5 million people living in the UK that are not United Kingdom nationals. Sylvia is wondering about Japan. The country of Japan does not exist on this list. Not even 10% of the population of Japan is of foreigners, expatriates. Michelle is thinking Spain, though. Spain, España, 12.2%, 5.8 million. About 1 in 8 are non-Spaniards. Bob Fan, France. Thinking the country of France, 11.7%, 7.78 million people living in France are not from France. Ray, Kuwait, the country of Kuwait, 68.5% of people living in Kuwait are not Kuwaitis. That's 2.8 million people in the city-state of Kuwait. Panama, Margie is wondering about Panama. The country of Panama does not rank in this survey. It doesn't make it. Qatar, Ray is thinking Qatar. Yeah, 76.9%. Number 2 on the list. Total of 1.68 million people live in Qatar that are not from Qatar. So we have the United Arab Emirates, number 1, Qatar, number 2, Kuwait, number 3. Saudi Arabia, Eric Z. Yes, sir. 36.7% of the population of Saudi Arabia are not Saudi nationals. 10.1 million of the people living in Saudi Arabia are expatriates. Ray is thinking Switzerland. Switzerland, 30% of people living in Switzerland, 2.4 million, are not from Switzerland. Costa Rica. Costa Rica does not make this list. I am surprised at that. I thought Costa Rica would make this list. Belize, Michelle, thinking about Belize, not on this list either. Cynthia, Russia. Russia does not have at least 10% of its population being non-Russians. No. South Africa. Sylvia is wondering about South Africa. Not on the list. New Zealand. Yes, 23.4% of people living in New Zealand, 1 million, are not from New Zealand. Susan Hurd, you got that one. Tim Bowman, tell me I got 110 thumbs ups. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Bob Fenn, what about Syria, Bruce? Are a lot of people from outside of Syria living in Syria? No, that's the other way around. Syrians are trying to get the hell out of there. Stephanie is thinking Mexico. What about the population of Mexico? Nope. Population of Mexico is more than 90% Mexican. Doesn't make this list. Ray is thinking about India as a possibility. Nope. Not even 10% of the population is foreigners there. Thank you, Royal Way 411. Hello, Bruce. Enjoy your channel. Regards, Barry Craig. Thanks, Barry, so much for being here. Appreciate it very much. Ernie Simons, the Netherlands. Do they have a large expat population? They're on this list. 11.7% of the population of the Netherlands, 1.98 million people, are expatriates. Yes, so Netherlands does make this list. China does not. Australia, we did. Germany, we did. Finland is not on this list. Italia is not on this list. Have we done Italy already? We have not, and Italy is not on this list. Vatican City did not make this list. I was checking for that. I don't see it. Who else? The Royal Way. Hello, Bruce. Thank you again. Monaco. I would think that the country of Monaco would be very heavily skewed to non-Monacans. I'm not sure what you call them. But this, unfortunately, I don't show this country on this particular chart, but I'm going to bet you Monaco would be in the top 10 countries for percentage. That would be my guess, too. Morocco is not on this list. Egypt, for foreign population, no way. Let's see. Emily Archer, my best friend, lives in Sweden, so she told me there are many migrants living in Sweden. Yeah, there are, but it's not millions and millions and millions. But Sweden does have 1.6 million, but it feels like a lot because it represents 16% of the population. Ray is thinking about Poland. No, they're trying to get out of Poland, not in. Norway does not show on my list. I don't think we've done it already. Denmark, have we done Denmark already? Not seeing it here. Spain we did, Russia we tried, Finland, South Africa, Panama, Saudi Arabia, Costa Rica, Israel not showing. No, wait a minute, it is showing. I apologize. Here it is. 30% of the population of Israel is non-Israelis. 2 million people live in Israel that are not Israeli. Belize, nope, not here. Dubai, well, that's United Arab Emirates. Singapore, we've done. Yemen, not on the list. Oman, yes, 57.3% of people living in Oman are not Omani. That would be a total of 1.8 million people. You now have the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Singapore. Those are the first 5 in a row. Let's see here. Jordan is number 6 at 38.3%. 3.1 million people. I bet you a lot of people from Iraq are in Jordan. Let's see here. Italy, Bahrain, not showing, which I'm surprised at, unless we've done Bahrain already. Can't find it. Ireland, no. Let's see. Jordan, Brazil, people living in Brazil, no, not from overseas. San Marino, not showing. Malta, the country Malta, not showing either. I'm surprised at that number. And Syria, no. South Korea and Abu Dhabi, neither and neither. Here are some of the rest of them. Kazakhstan, 19.5% are not from Kazakhstan. Austria, where Vienna, Austria is located, 17% people living in Austria, 1.5 million. Belgium, 12% of the population, 1.3. Greece, 11%, 1.2 million people. Belarus, 11%, a million people. Malaysia, 10.9%, 2.5 million are not from Malaysia. And the Ukraine, almost 11% of people living in Ukraine are not of Ukraine nationality, 4.8 million. Those are the countries with the most expatriates hanging around. Most legal, although in some countries it's debatable. But there you have it. That's the quiz. That is that one. All right, let's move on to another quiz. Let's see what my next one is. Okay, here's the next question. Can you tell me the world's largest cities by their GDP? In other words, their economic power, financial power. Tell me the cities of the world that are the financially the most powerful by their GDP. Michelle is thinking Tokyo, and that is the number one country in the world. It's at least $1.4 trillion domestic product. It's huge. It's number one in the world. Cynthia is thinking Los Angeles, number 3 city in the world for power. Economic power is LA. It's about half of Tokyo, by the way. Susan Hurt, London, United Kingdom. Yeah, number 5. It comes in around 1/3 of Tokyo's power. Economic power. New York City, Neona Copland. Yes, number 2 city in the world, 1.4 trillion. Tokyo, 1.4. Both are about the same. 1.4 trillion. They're about the same in economic power. London, New York. Susan Hurd is thinking Dubai, the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Let's take a look here and see if we can find Dubai. I'm looking here at the top 50 in the world. I'm not showing Dubai at the moment. If I've skipped over it, I'll get it later. Singapore, Tamara. She's thinking about Singapore, the country, or the city of Singapore, which is the country as well. Yes, looks like 26th largest, $215 billion annual economy. Very powerful. Okay, LA, New York. Doha. I'm not showing yet. Let's go. San Francisco, yes, $301 billion annual economy and growing. In the top, approximately the top 20 in the world. Paris, Bob Van, number 6 in the world, $564 billion. Kuwait City, it's a one industry town. Don't show it here on this list. Singapore, we've done. Cape Town in South Africa, not showing Cape Town. Let's go here. William, well done on your investment. If these numbers are accurate, if you've bought that much Norwegian and Royal Caribbean and you're doing that well, I would be taking profits here. I would take at least half the position off the table, maybe 3/4, ride the rest for free, see what you think. But I wouldn't mind locking in profits at these prices. Well done. Michelle, Shanghai in China, the city of Shanghai is number 25 at $233 billion and climbing quickly. Debbie is thinking Bakersfield for Mr. Lucas. Special greetings to Mr. Lucas. I wish him all the best. I hope he's doing okay. Bob Fan, San Jose, California, the home of the Silicon Valley industries. San Jose. I'm not showing San Jose on this list. Now, that could be because San Jose has cities all around it. Cupertino has Apple Corporation, and other cities have other corporations. So I'm not sure about how that'll work, but San Jose doesn't rank here. If we were taking metropolitan areas, San Jose would be lumped into San Francisco, and then it would be ranking higher on the list. So it's a bit of this and that. Seattle, the city of Seattle in Washington. Number 24 in the world for economic power. Chicago, number 4. We now have Tokyo, New York, LA, Chicago, London, and Paris. Those are your top 6 cities for economic power. Hong Kong. Hong Kong is in the top 15. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, number 23 or so. Houston, Texas, number 20 approximately. Shanghai, we've done. Rome in Italy. Rome, the city of Rome in Italy is approximately number 44. in the world, about 1/10 the economic power of New York or Tokyo. Just to give you an idea of how different these cities are in economic power. The city of Dallas just came in here. City of Dallas, we've got Dallas. Do we have Dallas here? Yes. Dallas is approximately number 15 or so, about 1/5 the power of New York City. Sean Murphy, Mumbai in India. Mumbai. Yes, 209 billion, about 1/7 the size of New York City in dollars. Miami, question mark. The city of Miami, as a top country. Yes, a top city in the world, approximately number 20. Miami, about 20% of the power of New York City is Miami. Mexico City. Sean is thinking Mexico City. Yes, number 10, approximately. New Delhi in India. New Delhi. Let's see if it's ranking here. Not showing it at the moment. Who else we got? Beijing, the capital city of China. Beijing. Yes, 166 million. About 12%, 1/8 the size of New York. This is from 2016, so things have improved since then, but it's a powerful city. Bangkok in Thailand. Bangkok. Looking for Bangkok, Thailand. Pardon me while I look again. I'm not finding it on this list. I'm surprised at that number. Sydney, Australia. Sydney in Australia. Yes, about 28th largest. Stockholm, Sweden. Stockholm, Sweden. Not on this list. Seoul, South Korea. Yes, approximately 21st largest economic city, powerful city in the world. Vancouver, British Columbia, not showing in the top 50. Oslo in Norway, not showing in the top 50. Atlanta in Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, definitely in the top 20, maybe number 19. Copenhagen, not showing on this list. Bern in Switzerland. The capital city of Switzerland is not showing on this list. Orlando, Florida, not showing. Edinburgh in Scotland in the United Kingdom, not showing. Helsinki, not showing. Geneva, not showing. Geneva either, with all that banking money. Miami, we've done. Moving forward here, hang on. Cairo in Egypt. Cairo in Egypt. Yes, number 42 or so, but 1/10 the power of New York City. Melbourne, Australia. Yes, about number 40 or so. Glasgow, no. Cairo, we have. Amsterdam. I'm not sure if we've done. I'm looking for Amsterdam to see if it's still available. Or have we done Amsterdam already? Don't show Amsterdam being done yet. And I don't show it in the top 50. I'm surprised at that. Rio de Janeiro. Rio, yes, approximately number 30, about 1/7 the size of New York's power. Sydney, Australia, I think we've done already. Yeah, we've already got Sydney. Auckland in New Zealand, not in the top 50. Athens in Greece. Athens, Greece, not showing. Zurich, no. Seoul, we did. Milan in Italy. Milan. The economic powerhouse of Italy. Yes, it's about 47th place. About 1/11th the size of New York's power. Las Vegas, Nevada does not rank in the top 50 worldwide. Berlin in Germany. Berlin, Germany. Not showing that city in the top 50 worldwide. Tokyo, we've done. It's number 1. Sao Paulo, Brazil is about number 11. Paris, we've done. Naples in Italia. Napoli. Naples in Italy. I'm not showing, but there was a time it was one of the most powerful economic cities in the world. Kyoto in Japan. Kyoto, not showing. Kyoto. Dallas, Edmonton, London. We've done Dover, Delaware, Jakarta in Indonesia. Jakarta. Not showing Jakarta either. I'm surprised at that. Not one of the top 50. We've done Rome. Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is number 12 or so. Powerful town. Munich in Germany. Munich, not showing. Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, approximately the 30th most powerful city in the world, about 1/7 the size of New York. Frankfurt in Germany. Frankfurt in Deutschland. Frankfurt, powerful banking city, but not showing in the top 50 in the world. Isn't that amazing? 116 thumbs up. Thank you, Jan. Boston, Massachusetts, approximately the 14th most powerful city on earth, about a quarter of the size of New York. Economically, very powerful city, Boston. Hamburg in Germany. That would be the city that would be most likely to be on this list, but it didn't make it, unfortunately. Paris, we've done. Lima in Peru. Lima, Peru, capital city, not showing. Glasgow, no. Istanbul in Turkey. Yes, approximately the 36th largest city in the world economically. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore at one time would have been in the top 100, top 50. Not today. Detroit, Michigan. Motor City, USA. Yes, approximately the 20th most powerful city in the world. Detroit, Michigan. Don't underestimate those beautiful people in Detroit. They are the real deal over there. Bandar Seri Begawan in Brunei. Not showing that. Washington, D.C. Yes. Economically, Washington, D.C. in the top 15, about a quarter of the size of New York City. Barcelona in España. Yes, about number 37 or so. Panama City does not rank in the top 50 globally. Portland, Oregon. Portland is not ranking. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is not ranking, but there was a time 100 years ago it would have. Bangalore in India, not showing. I'll give you some hints. I'm looking for a city out of Japan, but not Tokyo. I'm looking for a city that is similar to Pittsburgh. It's in the same state, but it's not Pittsburgh. What is the other city in that state? I'm looking for a city in Russia. I'm looking for a city in Spain, but not Barcelona. I'm looking for a city that has been in the center of the news cycle for the last 10 days in the United States of America, where it all started in the last 10 days. Margie has Philadelphia. Thank you. Philadelphia, top 10 city in the world for economic power, about a quarter of New York. Karachi just came in. Karachi does not rank in this list. Kyoto, no. Philly, we got. Osaka, yes, the number 8 city in the world, about a quarter of New York and Tokyo. Moscow, yes, 321 billion, about 20% of the economic power of New York is Moscow. Madrid, yes, number 26, about 1/6 the power of New York. Minneapolis, St. Paul, that is correct. Minneapolis, number 30 or so, about 1/7 the economic power of New York. St. Petersburg in Russia does not show here. Yokohama, Minneapolis, Harrisburg, and Jakarta. None of those are showing. I'm looking for another city in California. Not LA, not San Francisco, not San Jose, not Oakland. What city am I looking for? Southern California. I'm looking for another city in India. I'm looking for a city in Colorado. I'm looking for a city in Taiwan. I'm looking for a city in the Philippines. I'm looking for another city in Canada, but not Toronto. I'm looking for a city in Maryland, a city in China, a city in Iran, a city in Missouri, and a city in Florida, but not Miami. What are these towns? San Diego just came in here like crazy. Yes, San Diego, approximately the 30th most powerful city on earth. Sacramento, San Diego. What else? Not Sacramento, San Diego. Yeah, Denver, Colorado. Yes, the city in Colorado is Denver, about 1/8 the size of New York. Denver. Oakland, Taipei, Taiwan. Yes, about 1/8 the size of New York. Vancouver, no. Montreal, yes, the city of Montreal, about 1/10 the size of New York economically. Calgary, no. Manila in the Philippines, yes, about 1/10 of New York's power. Tampa, yes, Tampa, Florida made number 50. They made it at number 50, about 1/12 of New York's power. Sichuan, Davio, Tallahassee, nope. Montreal, Jacksonville, St. Louis, yes, St. Louis, Missouri, number 49, about 1/10 of New York's power. Jacksonville, San Diego, Orlando, and Cairo. Here are the rest of them. Delhi in India, approximately number 35. Baltimore, Maryland, approximately number 45. Zhangzhou, China, number 47. And Tehran in Iran, about 1/8 the size of New York's power, in number 48th place. Those are the most powerful cities on the planet, economically speaking. I'll give you the top 15 or 20 or so. We're talking about Tokyo, New York, followed by Los Angeles, Chicago, London, Paris, Osaka, Mexico City, Philadelphia, Sao Paulo, Washington, D.C., Boston, Buenos Aires, and Dallas. Those are your top 15 or so most powerful cities in the world, just by economic power. But by the time you get down to Dallas, you're at a quarter of New York and Tokyo's power, is economically speaking, because those two cities are 1.4 trillion a year. LA 800 billion, Chicago 574, London 565, Paris 564, Osaka 417 billion, just to give you an idea. Those are fascinating statistics I find in my little old mind. All right, let's see what we can do now with another quiz. Let me go over here, and here we go. Alrighty, now here's what I want to ask you guys. This quiz right here, I want you to try and tell me the countries that have the most people of their country, fellow countrymen, living outside of their country. So what countries of the world export more people to live elsewhere? So what countries have the most expats living outside of their country? Tell me that if you can. Caffeine free. It's good stuff. I'm looking for the top 30 exporting countries of their own citizens. All righty. Let's see how we're doing here. Let me just double check here. Here we go. Let me double check. I got a phone. Plug in my phone now because the power is getting low. Hang on, folks. Technical issues have to be resolved before we go any further. There we go. We're all good. Thank you very much. All righty. Let's see who we've got. The Philippines. Laptop Style Life is thinking the Philippines. And you are correct. They're in the top 10. The Philippines right now, or as of 2 years ago, 5.3 million Filipinos are working overseas from their home country. 5.3 million Filipinos. Michelle is thinking the United Kingdom has a lot of people living outside of it. Yes, 4.9 million. 4.9 million people from the UK live outside the UK. Canada, BC is wondering about Canadians. Are there a lot of Canadians out there? You got to get 1.9 million to make this list. You need 1.9 million expatriates outside your borders, but we don't have that many registered living outside this country. No. So Canada's not in the top 30 on this list. Michelle is thinking the United States. A lot of Americans live outside of the United States, don't they? Yes, 3 million Americans. But as far as world rankings go, America is only approximately a number 20 or so, 20th place. There are 20 countries or 19 countries that have more of their citizens working and living outside their home country. But America, 3.3 million approximately Americans live elsewhere. India, number one country in the world. 15.5 million Indians live outside of India. China, that would be 9.5 million. Fourth place. Spain, España. Nope, Spain does not make the list for having expats. Philippines, we got. Let's go. Taiwan. Taiwan is not on this list. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, for living outside of their home country. Sri Lanka does not rank in the top 30. Jamaica, man. A lot of Jamaicans live overseas to make money, but they're not in the top 30. Not 1.9 million or more of them. Japan? Question mark. Does Japan have a lot of people living overseas? Not in the top 30. Japan does not rank in the top 30 for living overseas. Margie is thinking Mexico, number 2 country, 12.3 million officially live overseas. Then there's the unofficial count, which causes all the issues. Laptop style life is thinking about Cuba. Do the Cubans have at least 1.9 million? No, they do not. India, Mexico, Australia. Is Australia known for its people living elsewhere? Not really, no. Romania. Yes, 3.4 million Romanians live overseas. That would be approximately 17th highest number in the world. Indonesia has 3.8 million living overseas, 15th most in the world. Debbie Manuel, what a great question. I don't have any of these answers, though. Jan is thinking Iraq. Iraqis. Are there a bunch of Iraqis? I would say the Iraqis would make this list if we had an unofficial count, but officially, with passports and all the documentation, we've got refugees, probably, yes, but not official expatriates, no. Donato, Poland. The country Poland, yes, 4.44 million Poland nationals work overseas. That is in the top 12 of the world. Poland brings a lot of money home from expats working overseas. Thailand, the country of Thailand. Thailand is not in the top 30, interestingly enough. Portugal does not. Yes, it does. Portugal, 2.3 million Portuguese live overseas officially. They are in the top 30, around 26th place. Vietnam, the country of Vietnam, 2.55 million, about 24th place of all countries in the world. Vietnamese live overseas and work. Donato is thinking Italy. Do Italians live overseas in great numbers? 2.9 million Italians work overseas from Italy. They probably are over there with their wives and children, but yes, approximately number 20 in the world. Pakistan, 5.9 million people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place in the world. 6th highest number. Iran, the country of Iran, is not on this list. I don't think Iranians are allowed to leave their country that easily. Sri Lanka, I've tried already, not here. Malaysia, is Malaysia exporting a lot of labor? Nope, not showing on this list. The Ukraine, yes, 5.8 million Ukrainians live overseas for damn good reason. That would put them in the top 10 globally. A lot of Ukrainians around the world. Guatemala, officially not in the top 30. Unofficially, probably. Greece, Bob Fan is wondering about the country of Greece. Not showing the Greeks at 1.9 million or more, interestingly enough. South Korea, 2.3 million from South Korea. That's in the top 20. Pakistan, we've done. Vietnam, we've done. Bangladesh, 7.2 million Bangladeshis overseas. That puts Bangladesh into 5th place after China. Russia, the country of Russia, 3rd highest. 10.5 million Russians have left Russia to work overseas officially, putting Russia into 3rd place. That means India, Mexico, Russia, China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Ukraine, and the Philippines make up the first batch of countries with the most nationals living and working overseas. Interesting. Ireland doesn't make the list. Not enough. Let's see. The Ukraine. Paraguay does not make the list. We have Russia already, so we're good there. The UK, we've done. New Zealand, I don't think so. Not enough. New Zealanders want to leave there. Egypt, people from Egypt, 3.26 million Egyptians are overseas. That would put Egypt in approximately 18th place. Venezuela, can you imagine how many want to get out? Venezuelans officially don't rank on this list, but unofficially, they'd make this list no problem whatsoever. Saudi Arabia. No, there are people going to Saudi Arabia to work, but Saudis in numbers, not 1.9 million or more. Oh no, they're making way too much money at home to not to want to leave. Although, certain people want to get out of there, but not going to rank on these numbers. Who else have we got here? Haiti. Haitians, I would think Haiti would have desperados wanting out, but they're not being let out. They're not being let in anywhere, really. Turkey, the country of Turkey, yes, 3.1 million people from Turkey work elsewhere. That would put Turkey in the top 20 for sure. Brazil, not in the top 30 at all. France is definitely in the top 30, 2.1 million, but only at 27th place. How about Spain? España. I've looked for Spain, can't find it. Moving on, does Puerto Rico count? No, Puerto Rico's part of the United States. It could well be that Puerto Ricans have moved to other countries, but a lot of Puerto Ricans just come to America. If you want to find a job and you're Puerto Rican, fly to the mainland. They can't stop you. You're an American. Come on in, and you can get a job anywhere in the United States legally without any issues. And that's the beauty of being Puerto Rican in a way. Unfortunately, Puerto Rico is having tough times, isn't it? Doesn't it just? Somalia, all taxi drivers in Las Vegas are Somalians. So Somalia, does that country make the list? Yes. 1.99 million Somalis are overseas. How many of those are in Las Vegas driving taxi cabs? 29th highest number in the world. Somalia. Yeah, a lot of people leave Somalia to find work. To survive. Absolutely. Thank you. Let's see. We've only got about 6 or 7 countries left. I'm looking for a country in the Middle East that's having a lot of war problems right now. I'm looking for a country in Asia near India that's having war-like problems. A country in Europe that does really well. Country next door to Israel. Country in North Africa. A country in South America on the northern coast. See if any of you get any of those hints. Syria. Yes, Syria. 5 million Syrians are overseas officially. Millions more are unofficially overseas. Yemen. I'm sure Yemen is on this list, but not officially. Israel, Pakistan, Jordan. I think we've done Jordan already. And Morocco, yes, Morocco, 2.3 million, 2.8 million Moroccans are overseas. That makes puts Morocco in the top 20 for people getting out of their country to get a job. Lebanon is not in this list. Peru, no. Philippines, we've done. Sri Lanka, Libya, and Somalia. Libya not showing again officially. Nigeria is not showing. Ethiopia not showing on this list either. I'm looking for Afghanistan. There are 4.8 million Afghanis around the world. Kazakhstan, 4 million. Germany, 4 million Germans are around the world as expatriates doing very well. Palestine, Israel's neighbor, 3.5 million Palestinians, probably in Israel, Jordan, and elsewhere. Myanmar, 2.8 million. Colombia, 2.6 million. And Uzbekistan, 1.9 million. I figured I'd spare you guys all the Stani countries about this one. So there you are. This quiz in the top 15 countries that have the most expats overseas: India, Mexico, Russia, China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Ukraine, Philippines, Syria, UK, Afghanistan, Poland, Kazakhstan, Germany, and Indonesia. Those are the countries with the most expatriates working and living overseas. Quite an interesting quiz, I think. I got one set of quizzes left. These are a couple of short ones, and we'll finish these off. I want to thank you for being here tonight. There are 81 of you still with me after all this time. It's now 11:30 Eastern Time. It's 8:30 my time, so you've been around with me for a little while tonight. Thank you for being here this evening. I appreciate you hanging around. I got one more to go. And this is the title of the quiz, but let me tell you let me give you some details. The 10 largest countries without, and now let me tell you what you can guess. Emily's saying, I'm still here from New Rochelle, New York. Welcome, and 121 thumbs ups, guys. Thank you so much. Can you tell me the 10 largest countries in the world? And this is countries by area, okay, by size, not population. But tell me the 10 largest countries in the world that don't have a president. What are the 10 largest countries in the world that don't have a president? I'd like to hear if you guys can guess the top 10. Meantime, I'm going to set up my magic marker here because I haven't done that yet, and I better get my act together. There we go. I'm ready to mark these off. C72, Canada, a big country, but they don't have a president. That's correct. We do not have a president. Russia, Sean Murphy is thinking about Russia. No, they actually do have a president in Russia. It's a figurehead, but they have a president. Australia, Susan Hurd. Yes, the second largest country in the world without a president by area is Australia. Let's see here. Sweden. Sweden is the 9th largest country in the world without a president. Bob Fan is thinking India. India is not on this list. The United Kingdom, England, the UK is not on this list, not big enough to make the list. In size, Japan is 10th in this list. Japan does not have a president. It has an emperor. Yes. Who else we got here? Brazil. Nope, they're not on this list. Saudi Arabia. They are number 4 in size without a president. China. Apparently, China has a president. I'm surprised at that. Maybe the chairman of the Communist Party is the president of the country. I don't know how that works, but apparently China has a president. Iran. Joe is thinking about the country of Iran. I don't show Iran without in this list. India, we've tried. China, we've done. Germany. Germany has a president, I believe. Indonesia, not on this list. Belgium, not here. South Korea, not on this list. Let's see. United Arab Emirates, not a big enough country to rank, I guess. Greenland doesn't count. Korea, Canada, folks are running out. Well, Greenland is one of them. Denmark rules over Greenland. It's Danish territory, and Denmark does not have a president. So very good. We'll take that answer for sure. New Zealand and Austria. Neither have made the list. There's a country next door to Egypt that doesn't have a president. There's a country in Asia that is near Laos. There's a country in Europe that is near Portugal. And there's another country in Asia that has 3 words in its name that doesn't have a president. Now, Libya, that is correct. Libya is the North African country I'm looking for. Netherlands, no. Ukraine, no. Africa, Jordan, no, and no. I'm still looking for, okay, we got Vietnam and Myanmar. Neither will work here. Not looking for either of those right now. The country is not near Vietnam, but it's east of Vietnam, south and east. Next door to Myanmar is Sandana, Thailand. You got it. Thailand does not have a president. It has a king. Very good. UAE, Cambodia, Sweden. Neither of those. The country in Europe, Joe, you got it. It's Spain. Correct. Spain does not have a president. It has a king. Belarus, Mongolia, and Laos. The country I'm looking for is Papua New Guinea, is the last country I'm looking for on this list. Here are the countries that don't have a president. The largest countries by area. That would be Canada, Australia, Denmark, which includes Greenland, Saudi Arabia, Libya, Thailand, Spain, Papua New Guinea, Sweden, and Japan. Okay. The countries of the world that do not have a U.S. embassy. Tell me the name of the countries of the world that do not have a U.S. embassy, okay? Let's see what we can come up with here. The countries of the world that don't have a U.S. embassy. These are the largest countries in the world by area that don't have a U.S. embassy. The largest countries in the world. And the first question, the first and largest country is a trick question. It's a trick question that doesn't have a U.S. embassy. Okay, so here we go. Iran. That's the second largest country in the world without a U.S. embassy. The Congo, not on this list. The USSR, Russia has a U.S. embassy. North Korea, that number 4 largest country without a U.S. embassy. Susan Heard, the United States of America, Bruce. That's right. The USA doesn't have an embassy. Why would it need an embassy in its own country? That is right. The largest country in the world without a U.S. embassy is the USA. Right on, Susan. Well done. All right, Michelle, Myanmar. No, I think they've opened one. North Korea, we have. Russia. Let's see. Canada, we have a U.S. embassy and consulates. Indonesia, oh no, there's there are U.S. embassies. There's a U.S. embassy there. Vietnam, oh, there's a U.S. embassy in Vietnam. Venezuela, no, there is a U.S. embassy in Venezuela. With all the problems, there's still an embassy there. Iran, we've done. Taiwan, yes, number 6 in the world. No embassy there. Don't want to make China too angry. Cuba, there is a U.S. embassy in Cuba that was opened up a few years ago. Papua New Guinea, no, there's a U.S. embassy in Papua New Guinea. I'm looking for a country in Africa, the Pacific Islands, a couple of them. A country next door to Israel, big hint. Another African country. We've got Nigeria, Bhutan. Bhutan is one of them. Colombia. No, Colombia. There's a U.S. embassy in Colombia. Chad. There's a U.S. embassy in Chad, or at least Chad isn't big enough to rank. American Samoa. Well, that's not a country, or it's not big enough. Either or. South Sudan. Not showing that. Let's see here. Looking for one of the poorest countries in Africa. Definitely. A lot of pirates come from this country. Let's see here. Guinea, Morocco, and Somalia. It's Somalia. That's the one with the pirates. Somalia. There's only 4 left to go. 2 of them are in the Pacific Ocean. Guinea, Morocco, Somalia, Palestine, and Sri Lanka. Palestine is the country beside Israel. Yes. Somalia, we've done. Philadelphia, Congo, Dominica. No, it's the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, and Comoros. Those are the countries the largest countries in the world without a U.S. embassy. All right, we've got that one done. Let's talk about the largest countries in the world without freedom of the press. The countries without freedom of the press, the largest 10 without freedom of the press. Fire away. Give me your best guesses. The largest countries in the world without freedom of the press. Cuba, not big enough to make this list. China. China is the number 2 largest country on this list. North Korea doesn't make it because it's not big enough. There are larger countries in North America in area. Saudi Arabia, yep, number 6 or so in the world for freedom of the press problems. Michelle, Russia, number 1 country in the world. No freedom of the press in Russia. Are you kidding me? That's right. Russia, China, number 1, 2. Who else we got? North Korea, Iran. Yes, number 8 is Iran. Japan, no, you have freedom of the press in Japan. Let's see here. Mongolia. Nope. Myanmar. Not showing. Libya. Yep. Number 6, Libya, roughly. Ukraine just came in here. Nope. We're fine on the Ukraine so far. Vietnam. You're okay in Vietnam. Iraq and Sudan. Both of those are okay at this point. They don't make this list. Cuba, not big enough. Cuba is not big enough. I'm looking for one of the Stan countries to make this list. Egypt just came in. There's relative freedom in Egypt, more or less. Venezuela, not showing here on this list. Burma, that would be Myanmar, not showing that. Venezuela and Egypt, not showing neither of those countries at the moment. I'm looking for a country in Africa, another one in Africa. 3 African countries, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4 African countries and 1 Stan country. All right. 4 African and 1 Stan. Afghanistan, Uzbekistan. Nope. Another Stan country, please. Let's see. Afghanistan, China. We've done that already. Kazakhstan. Yep. Kazakhstan. No freedom of the press in Kazakhstan. That's the 3rd largest country in the world for no freedom of the press. Congo. Yes. Democratic Republic of the Congo doesn't have a free press. Democratic Republic of the ain't no democracy there, baby. Yeah, the freedom. There's no such thing as free press there in Congo. Somalia, no, not showing. Sudan, Turkestan. We got the stand countries: Pakistan, Guinea, Djibouti, Nigeria, Ethiopia. Not yet. Ethiopia, Sudan. I haven't got them yet. 3 African countries. All 3 in Africa: Ethiopia, Sudan. Nope. We have Algeria, Niger, and Angola. Those are the 3 remaining countries in this quiz. Okay, let's do one more 10 largest country without something. Okay, without something. What would it be? 3 largest countries without Doctors Without Borders mission. How about one of those? 3 largest countries where Doctors Without Borders have had to come in to help people without Doctors Without Borders mission. A couple of these are pretty obvious. These are the largest countries in the world in size. The United States, that's correct. The United States does not need doctors from the outside to come in and help people, although you'd wonder sometimes. Congo, the Congo, no, not Congo, no. Haiti, no, they have Doctors Without Borders going in. Australia, that is correct. Australia doesn't have it. Canada, that is correct. Canada doesn't need doctors from outside to come on in and help Canadians. India, not showing here. Russia, not showing Russia on this list. So maybe Doctors Without Borders have gone into Russia. Germany would theoretically work, but it's not big enough in territory, I guess, to work. China, not showing China on this list. France for doctors? Well, yeah, but France doesn't work on this one. UK, not working here. New Zealand, China, South Africa. Nope. United Kingdom, France. Nope, not big enough, not working. Looking for large square footage countries to work this out for Doctors Without Borders, where they wouldn't have come in. South Africa, United Kingdom, France, Spain, Brazil, Saudi Arabia. There we are. Saudi Arabia is one. No Doctors Without Borders there. Argentina is another one. Spain, nope. Philippines, nope. And some of these countries just might not be big enough square footage wise to count, even though they could use the help. But Antarctica, no, not a country. I need a stand country. I need a European country. I need an African country. 3 African countries, actually. Indonesia, Denmark. Denmark, yes, with Greenland, that's one of them. You don't need to send doctors to Denmark. Indonesia, Denmark, Afghanistan. No, another stand one. Mexico, Pakistan. No, I need another one. Morocco. Nope. Egypt. Yes, Egypt is on this list. Apparently, they have not needed outside help. Pakistan, no. Morocco, no. South Africa, no. And 2 Africa countries and 1 stand country is what I need. Kazakhstan, yep, there's that stand country again. Kazakhstan, big place. And they have not needed help for doctors. They have their own. Switzerland, Nigeria, France, Uzbekistan. Nope, 2 African countries. 1 on the Mediterranean coast and the other one further south. Let's see here. No, not getting it. We have Libya and Angola. Those are the 2 other countries that have not needed Doctors Without Borders missions. Interesting. Either that or they couldn't get in. One or the other. Anyway, there you go. There's our quizzes for the night. I'm cooked. I'm done. It's now, to say the least, it's late. It's now 11:47 in New York. Got to be in the middle of the morning in Europe. Nice and early over in Australia, New Zealand. How you guys doing? Thank you all for being here tonight. Really appreciate you seeing me and hanging out with me for trivia tonight and letting me get my hellos into all of you guys. Enjoyed it very much. I hope you have a great weekend. This is, after all, Friday night. So you can sleep in tomorrow, hopefully. If you were a teenager, you could certainly do that. Remember when you were a teenager and you could sleep in on Saturdays? And we did sleep in on Saturdays if we were allowed to. Oh my gosh, days gone by. Anyway, I want you to stay safe, stay healthy, stay safe, and take care of yourselves. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. As I like to say, thank you for seeing me tonight. Thank you for all your thumbs ups. Jan is saying 124 came in tonight. Thank you for 124 thumbs ups. I appreciate it. We'll catch you later. Keep an eye open on my channel. Join the sponsor group if you dare. And thank you for all your support, for everything else you do for me, including picking up TWB merchandise on Traveling with Bruce on the Redbubble store. The link might be down below, or it's certainly down below on all of my regular on all of my regular videos. Plus, you'll find a Redbubble logo up there too. Thank you guys. Have a good evening and a good weekend. We'll talk to you later, everybody. This is Bruce from Creston saying bye for now, and we'll see you next time.